if it was because he was Indian. Let's really talk about it. I know people scared of getting canceled, bro. We're gonna talk about it.
Ooh.
Yo.
It's your boy Uchay. I got my boy
QDeezy.
We are the ill-advised wise guys.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
Okay.
How important is an artist's image to you? So based on an image of a person, does that make you want to press play on something? Or sometimes does that image make you want to not press play? The reason I brought this topic up was because recently I heard a snippet of NAV on an interview saying that the reason he doesn't think people like him as an artist is because the way he looks.
What is it about you, Nav?
The way I look, bro, it's gotta be it, bro. They're just tight. If I was some light-skinned dude with tattoos, the whole look, and I saw me getting more money and having more fun and getting more and clout and whatever, bro, I'd hate me too.
I do see what he's saying, and I do feel that way about Nav. I know historically, Uchay, you especially know. I just say there's something about Nav I just can't get hip to. Like, is that me subconsciously judging him by his image? And do we all do that?
Yes, that's what you're doing.
Even if it is that, what's the problem, bro? Bro, this
okay. Tell me more.
exists when you do creative things. If you're in the modeling industry, if you're an actor, you're trying to be in Hollywood, image matters. When you're an artist in 2022, it is so much more than the MP3, than what you have on wax. It's about your image. It's about how you look. It's how you dress. Do people identify with you? He should stop complaining and just be happy he made it this far, bro. I'm gonna keep it stacked. Because why is he complaining though? Like he's a star, low key. Like he's talked about.
When he says image, is he talking about the accessories that come along with being a rapper, whether it's like chains, cars, all that, or is he talking about the fact that I am Indian, which is something he cannot change?
But he said literally,
Some light-skinned dude with tattoos, the whole look.
he said light skin. So I'm assuming he means him as an Indian rapper. But I don't want to take the words out of his mouth, but that's what I'm assuming. But let's talk about it, even if that's not what he's trying to say. Nav is different. His image kind of caught me off guard. His voice to me is something that is taking me so long to get past.
Cause I gotta get geek. Talking about sleep, I get 2 days a week.
I feel like he has this nerdy kid that just kind of like knew all the cool kids in school, never was able to master the way the cool kids talk, but is talking about the stuff that the cool kids is talking about. Ouch. You get what I'm saying? Like that, it's his voice.
It up.
I don't quite think it's the fact that he's Indian.
The question is, does Nav's voice match his look?
I think his voice matches his look.
And I ain't talking about the fact that he's Indian, because like I don't have an issue with that personally. It's does the voice match what you see? You know what I mean?
I don't think it matches the content. And he's like one of the few people that are like that.
I'll go to the music. I like Nav's music, even from day one. I do. Does he sound nerdy? Absolutely. Does he sound? Do I not believe what he's talking about? I kind of don't. It don't sound believable. I'm with you on that. But damn, bro, I don't believe a lot of people. Does that impact how good the music is? Like, not always. So now let's go back to the look or the image, because that's really what this is about, right? Image is the most important thing when it comes to being a creative. Everyone has an opinion before they press play. They make assumptions. If it doesn't match, people have an issue for the most part. For example, when I listen to your boy SG or ESTG, as you said before, yo, he sounds so gutter and so street. And I'm not even a part of that life. I never was. The sounds so vivid and it matches his look. Like he seems like a dude who does not play. And so I agree. Like when it matches up, it's this perfect harmony when it comes to artists. And when it doesn't, it begs to question, like, damn, is this person lying? I will agree that Nav comes across like someone who doesn't really live what he actually raps.
I agree with you.
Does that make me say, damn, I don't want to hear it anymore? Not really, because I just said, I like Nav's music for the most part. So that's not always a deal breaker to me, unfortunately. Maybe it is for you guys, but this is more of a grand conversation. Image plays a major part But there are some exceptions. And I think Nav is an exception. His music, while it's not the best I've ever heard, it is very unique and in a specific pocket that does bring a lot of value to the game. Let's be real. He is not the norm here. Because I would not advise any rapper or any artist to do what Nav has done. You're probably not going to be successful.
I agree with both of y'all. I definitely think it's a voice issue. It comes down to the voice. I also don't think it's because he's Indian. But if it was because he was Indian, let's really talk about it. I know people scared of getting canceled, but we're going to talk about it.
Ooh, here we
If
go.
we're talking about hip hop, and hip hop is predominantly black, what is wrong with black people wanting to listen to people that look like them?
In an ideal world, there's nothing wrong with that. But we all know humans.
Yeah. But like if this is a cultural thing and you're a guest in it, I feel like you just gotta roll. You gotta take what comes with it. You gotta roll with the punches. You just gotta stand in where you're at and just keep grinding. But don't sit here and complain about your positioning when it's like, bro, you're a guest here.
We all have a certain bias. Like, we human. And in this case, I don't think you're wrong. I think you're bluntly honest. But somebody's gonna look at it and be like, well, then black people should never do pop, a predominantly white genre, country, you know.
But it's not like
we don't want to see Lil Nas X.
I don't want it to come off that way. It's not like I'm saying don't make hip hop. I'm just saying if you're gonna make it, you just have to not complain about every single thing. Like he's here, he's in it, he's getting billboards, he's doing the whole nine. It's not like he's really getting unfair treatment. It's just if consumers don't want to listen to somebody they feel like they can't identify with, then that you just have to respect that.
But he is trying to identify with black people, you know, based off his content.
Even then, it's like be yourself. If you're if you're saying you're wearing watches and you have all these girls and you're doing all this stuff trying to get approval from other people, you're already starting off wrong.
Nav has been walking on eggshells from day one in his career. Let's just call it spade a spade. Early on in Nav's career, people got on his ass because he's Indian and he was saying the N-word. And he stopped.
You just don't do that.
No. If it was believable, people would have gave him a pass, more than likely. I know we've never seen an Indian dude do this, so this is like a novelty. When we've never seen something, yeah, there's going to be pushback if you're doing something that's going to offend people generally. Like, it's weird because Hispanic people have generally been able to get away with saying the N-word. Society gives people a pass because they're like, oh, black people and Hispanics are joint at the hip to some degree, right? But here's an Indian guy who, even if he grew up in an area where it's predominantly black, but
He did say that. He grew up with a bunch
if he
of
grew up in an
melting
environment,
pot.
if he grew up in an environment, the masses don't want to hear that shit.
In my neighborhood, it's cool, but out here, it's not cool. So I just play by the rules. On this album, you won't hear me say it once.
They're like, bro, you're Indian. We don't care where you grew up. Like, it don't matter. Like, you can't say that. And so he's been walking on eggshells and had an identity crisis from day one.
Nav lost a part of his identity, his brand. He lost being the brown boy that could be reckless on the track and say whatever he wanted.
He does kind of complain a bit. He comes across like he's complaining, but I want to pivot this because I know this was not a particular topic. Is Nav just at the point where his cult following is turning into, you know, something a little bit more mainstream? Jordan, what you think?
I think he is kind of turning into the mainstream.
More and more, hip hop is showing that it has so many different types of fans. Like, remember back in the day, it was like either you're a street hip hop fan or you're a book bag hip hop fan. There's no in between. Now there's so many different types. If you're a fan of alternative hip hop, commercial hip hop, it's all good. There's a fan base for everyone, and those fan bases are so huge. I'm starting to think that fan base that Nav has is actually one of the most popular fan bases. The ones that people want to know what you about. There's so many people in this world that are just like Nav, guys. There's probably more Navs, aka people that maybe want to live that gangster life, but their image doesn't match it. There's more people like Nav than there is than ESTG. There's more kids that want to be gangsters. I think that's the issue people have with him. I think that's the real cool thing about Nav's story is that he's actually exposing a fan base that I think was quiet for a long time in hip hop.
We want to know what you guys think. Feel free to hit us in the comments.
Listen to the full episode, link below.